Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Blake Mathews here. It is Friday Eve, and we are gearing up for a severe weather event here across southeast Texas as we get into Friday night. You know, it's already shaping up to be, the ingredients are coming together already, and you can see this because look at the temperature, 69 degrees already. That is already above our average daytime high for this time of year. It's 69 degrees at Hobby, 70 degrees in Katy. Looks like all of us are headed for the 70s as we get into the afternoon hours. Now we're waking up to cloudy skies, a few scattered sprinkles out there out towards Columbus and Yoakum and El Campo. These streamer showers will continue to move through the area as we head into the afternoon hours. Now nationwide, not a whole lot going on. The storm system we're watching is out here in California, and this is the storm system that's going to be moving our way as we get into Friday. So here it is, and there it goes right into the state of Texas. Now follow the timestamp up here. This is 8:30 tomorrow night, and you can see a nasty squall line developing out ahead of the cold front as it pushes into southeast Texas. You can see that squall line pushing right on through the Houston area as we get into the wee hours of the morning on Saturday, with the main dynamics up there in North Texas towards the Arklatex. Now once that front pushes through, things really begin to quiet down, shaping up to be a pretty decent weekend. So taking a look at the future track, you'll notice here there are the streamer showers right there. And as we head into the afternoon hours today, we're looking at a 40% chance of those showers remaining. But there's your squall line. This is 11 o'clock heading into Bryan and Columbus all the way down towards Victoria, rumbling into the I-45 corridor, getting into the midnight 1 o'clock hour, and that squall line will quickly push on off to the east as we get into the wee hours of the morning and the early morning hours of Saturday. Now the Storm Prediction Center so far has placed all of southeast Texas in an enhanced risk of severe weather. This is a 3 out of 5 on the likelihood scale, and what we're looking for here is not only large hail and damaging winds in accompaniment with the squall line, what we call a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, but we're also looking at individual supercells developing out ahead of the main line, and those are the ones that become supercells, and therefore we are looking at the possibility of tornadoes, and some of those could be on the strong side as well. So take a look at the rainfall forecast. How much are we looking at? Generally between 1 and 2 inches as the squall line pushes on through here. So the biggest hazards are going to be the wind is Friday night, 10 p.m. to about 3 a.m. Saturday morning. So that encompasses our far western viewing area and our far eastern viewing area. What? Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. The biggest threat right now appears to be some isolated tornadoes. And again, the National Weather Service saying some of those could be stronger than EF2 and be on the ground for quite a while. So again, not a guarantee. We're just preparing you for the possibility of what could happen as we head into the overnight hours. Now, being that this is a nocturnal event, you're going to want to be thinking about how you're going to get those weather alerts. A lot of us are going to be sleeping midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So download the KHOU weather app. That's going to be a great tool for you. When the weather warnings are issued, your phone will buzz and let you know exactly what's going on. Temperatures today starting off in the 60s. We're warming it up again into the 70s by the time we're at the lunch hour. In fact, we're almost there right now. In fact, we're looking at mid 70s here across the immediate Houston area. Now, I want to back this up here just a second and give you kind of an explanation as to why we think that the severe weather event will be a robust one, especially for areas east and northeast of the Houston area. So let me zoom out there. Give the computer just a second here to load up. One of the things that we're watching for is a trough of low pressure out towards the desert southwest. Now, there's two types of troughs. Two types of troughs. You have a positively tilted trough and you have a negatively tilted trough. And the negatively tilted trough, let me go back to the satellite and I'll explain this. So there's your system right there pushing through California. Now as this pushes on through, it's going to continue to deepen with the main dynamics a little bit further to our north, and there's the squall line in accompaniment with the cold front. Now I want to go to sort of a larger scale picture here, and this is looking at the 500 millibar level. This is about 18,000 feet in the air, and I put a pause point right here because you notice the deep trough digging into Texas, and you notice the orientation of the trough moving from north to the right, upper right to the bottom left. You see how the line is slanted there. Now as the trough rotates through the state of Texas, notice how it goes from the upper left to the lower right. That trough leaning back like this is what we call a negative tilt. It is a very powerful trough of low pressure, and the reason why, you have convergence on the left side. So you have all the winds in the upper atmosphere coming together. This suppresses thunderstorm activity here on the backside of the trough, but you've got divergence out ahead of the trough. So you have the wind splitting apart in the atmosphere. It opens up. So picture like moving water off the top of a swimming pool. Well, what happens? More water from underneath rushes up to replace it, right? Well, the same thing happens in the atmosphere. So as the air is spread apart in the upper levels, more air comes in from underneath and rushes up to replace the void. Well, you get a lot of vertical development when that happens, and when you get a lot of vertical movement in the atmosphere, you get a lot of thunderstorms, and some of them can be very powerful, and that's exactly what we're looking for here across East Texas, Southeast Texas, into the Arklatex, and into Louisiana. And for that reason, that's why the models are picking up on these thunderstorms as they continue to push on through. So here's another look at the future track once again. Scattered showers expected in the afternoon today. And as we get into Friday evening, what we're going to be watching for is the possibility of discrete supercells. Now, the model's not doing is not really picking up on this possibility, but you'll notice some darker pockets here. Any one of these storms that develop out ahead of the main line could very well become supercells, and if they break through the cap in the atmosphere, a cap being a layer of warm air in the mid-levels that kind of suppresses the activity, well, that forecast, the forecast calls for that cap to break, and if it breaks with any leftover heating in the day, we could see strong to severe thunderstorms developing out ahead of that main line. And those are the storms that could become tornadic as we head into the evening hours. Now, once the main squall line pushes through, that's when things begin to calm down across our region. That's not going to happen until we get to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. But I think most of your Saturday plans and Sunday plans, the weekend shaping up to be a very nice one indeed. So once again, there's your storm threat, a 3 out of 5 right now, an enhanced risk of severe weather all across Southeast Texas. This does include just about everybody from Wharton to Sugar Land, Columbus, Giddings, Waller, Montgomery, Conroe, the Woodlands, Atascocita, Kingwood, Houston, Pearland. You get the idea. If you are pretty much listening to me in Southeast Texas, you are likely covered in this orange. And it wouldn't surprise me, I've seen this a lot of times, that we could actually see this expanded a little bit to a moderate risk. And the reason why I say that is look how expansive the 3 out of 5 is. This is a huge chunk of territory here, stretching from Dallas to Austin to Houston, Shreveport, almost up to Little Rock. Now, if I was a betting man, and sometimes I could be, I would suspect that we could actually see a moderate risk issued right there in the middle of that bullseye that could encompass some areas in the northern parts of the Houston area. So something that we're going to continue to watch very closely, but I would suspect that if you're up in San Jacinto County, Walker County, Polk County, up towards Lufkin and Angelina County there, it's going to be areas east and northeast of Houston. I think that has the best chance of seeing any tornadic weather. But again, we're right there on the cusp, and we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on this as we head into the overnight hours. So once again, everybody in Southeast Texas included in that. This is not a flood threat. This is going to push through very quickly. We're looking at generally 1 to 2 inches of rain as that system pushes on through. So there's again what we're expecting. Large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes will be the biggest threat with this system as it pushes on through. But once it does, Saturday into Sunday, things looking decidedly nicer. Mostly sunny skies Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures much cooler, 50s and 60s for daytime highs. We'll reintroduce small chances of rain as we get into early next week. David Paul will be in later on this afternoon. He'll give you the very latest rundown on what you can expect heading into the overnight period tomorrow night, coming up today on the 411.